It's hard not to get jealous of celebrities by their fame, lifestyle and popularity, but there's a lot of celebrities who reach that level by facing the worst days in life, and today's video is about 10 celebrities who came from a tragic past. But before this, join us by subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Number 10. Eminem. He is one of the most successful musical artists and God rapper of the 21st century. His recent songs Godzilla got so much attention, but his way of success was not cleared. He faced so much difficulties in life. His childhood was terrible. Eminem's father walked out on him when Eminem was just 18 months old. He was raised by a single mother who was drug addicted and she wished he would have died in an abortion. As a 9-year-old, Eminem was beaten so badly by a school bully that he spent over a week in a coma. At age 15, he fell in love with a girl and he got daughter from his love. But he was fired from jobs 3 days before his daughter's birthday. He only had $40 in his pocket. And then he getting divorced. He tried to attempt suicide but failed. After some years, Eminem's best friend was shot dead in a gang war. While producing the famous single Lose Yourself, he worked 16 hours per day and was introduced to drugs. Later he was so addicted to drugs that he was just 2 hours short from death when he was admitted in hospital. Eminem also faced courts many times due to violence. He eventually turned all of his bad experiences and anger into raps that propelled him to fame and success. Still Eminem's best rapper alive on the earth with 15 Grammys, 1 Oscar and many other awards. Number 9. Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron is widely regarded as one of the most talented people in Hollywood. Theron's performance as Aileen Wuornos earned her both an Oscar and a well-deserved place in cinematic history. But his past was tragedy for her. His father was an alcoholic who always drunk. When Theron was 15, returning from school, her alcoholic father threatened to kill both Charlize and her mother while drunk. He physically attacking her wife and firing a gun at both of them. Theron's mother retrieved her own handgun, shot back and killed him. The shooting was legally adjudged to have been self-defense, and her mother faced no charges. Theron told in the interview that she loves her mother so much who gave him a safe and new happy life.
When you were 15?
She saved my life many other times too. My mother is amazing. She's very unique.
Number 8. Kevin Spacey. This great actor is also in the list of celebrities with the most tragic past. He also faced family problems in life, but he doesn't like to talk about his past. His father was a racist and Nazi supporter. According to his estranged brother Randy Fowler, Spacey's father physically and sexually abused the boys throughout their childhood. To make matters worse, their mother apparently knew but turned a blind eye to the whole situation. She later claimed that both she and the father had also been abused as children. Spacey denied his brother's claims, but his brother believes that Kevin used fame, fortune, and a new name to hide from his childhood. But he can't change reality. Number 7. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves' father left his family when the actor was a toddler, and Reeves has since been surrounded by tragedy. He was a good friend of River Phoenix, who died in 1993. In 1998, Reeves met and fell in love with Jennifer Syme, who became pregnant with their child. But a month before the birth, the baby died in the womb and Syme also tragically killed in a car accident a mere 18 months after the birth. With all these, he stood with his sister, Kim Reeves, who has battled leukemia for over a decade. His life is really an inspiration for everyone. Reeves told Parade magazine of his past, "Grief changes shape but it never ends. People have a misconception that you can deal with it and say, it's gone, and I'm better. They're wrong. When the people you love are gone, you're alone." Number 6. Nicki Minaj. Throughout her childhood, Minaj had to contend with her abusive, drug-addicted father, who would regularly beat her mother, punch holes in the walls, and sell their possessions for drugs. Once her father attempted to kill her mother by lighting the house on fire, then he get arrested. Despite all this, her parents are still together. Minaj told in their interview, "I don't think I had a lot of discipline in my household." At the age of 19, as she struggled with her acting career, she worked as a waitress but was fired for discourtesy to customers. She said she was fired from at least 15 jobs for similar reasons. Minaj said her tragic childhood helped her to become strong, independent and proud women. Number 5. Jay-Z. An American rapper and husband of Beyoncé. His life also worst at an early age. When he was a kid, his father left him, then his mom grew him. In teenage, this rapper was involved in criminals activities. Jay-Z claims in his lyrics that in 1982 at age 12, he shot his older brother in the shoulder for stealing his jewelry. According to his interviews and lyrics, he sold crack cocaine and was shot 3 times. Then he worked hard and moved from his bad day, and now he is the respectable billionaire and the most powerful celebrity in Hollywood industry. Jay-Z is one of the world's best-selling music artists with over 50 million albums and 75 million singles sold worldwide. Number 4. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey makes us all laugh with his silly faces and comedic performances. But, when he was growing up, the future actor and comedian didn't have it easy. His father lost his job as an accountant when Jim was 14 years old, putting the family through financially hard times. Jim, who was a good student, started working 8-hour shifts after school and his grades dropped as a result. They eventually had to move into a camper van and Jim began pursuing comedy. His debut show, at the age of 15, was at Toronto's Yuck Yucks Club. Though the show was less than successful, Jim persisted and eventually became a regular at Toronto clubs. He dropped out of school at the age of 16 to become a full-time comedian. Fortunately, things worked out for Jim and he doesn't have to worry about money again. Number 3, Ellen DeGeneres. When she was 15 years old, she was molested by her stepfather, but she didn't tell her mother. She was so much depressed at that time.
And I didn't want to tell my mother because I was protecting her and I knew that would ruin her happiness. And
she didn't know what the purpose of her life. She worked as a waitress, a house painter, a hostess, and a bartender.
I had no ambition. I did as a hostess, I was a bartender, I was a waitress, I painted houses,
She relates much of her childhood and career experiences in her comedic work. Then she stepped in comedy and got famous, but when 1997, she appeared as gay in Time magazine. After that, the media hurricane was a Category 5 and the backlash included hate mail, death threats, and ultimately the cancellation of her show. At that time Ellen was in so much depression, there was no guarantee that Ellen's star would rise again. But she bounced back, earned huge respect and popularity and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Barack Obama in 2016. Number 2, Oprah Winfrey. Today, she's known as a talk show legend and the first African-American woman to become a billionaire. It's amazing how Oprah Winfrey moved past her tough childhood and went on to achieve so much. Oprah was born to a single teenage mother but lived with her grandmother until she was 6. At that time, she was sent back to live with her mother, who was mostly absent due to working long hours as a housemaid. While she was alone at home from the age of 9, male relatives and other visitors would come over and sexually abuse her. Oprah tried to run away from home and by the age of 14, she was on her own. What many people may not know is that she actually gave birth to a son as a teenager, but he died during infancy. Thankfully, Oprah moved in with her father, who was strict about her getting a proper education, and it was only up from there. Number 1, Robert Downey Jr. As a child, Downey was surrounded by drugs. His father, a drug addict, allowed Downey to use marijuana at age 6, an incident that his father later said he regretted. Downey later stated that drug use became an emotional bond between him and his father. When my dad and I would do drugs together, it was like him trying to express his love for me in the only way he knew how. Eventually, Downey began spending every night abusing alcohol and making 1,000 phone calls in pursuit of drugs. When his parents divorced in 1978, Downey moved to California with his father, but in 1982, he dropped out from school. Downey went to jail so many times because of drugs. Then, in 2003, he stopped, threw all his drugs into the sea and determined to heal himself. And then he returned back with a blockbuster movie. And now he is a successful actor.
And I am Iron Man.
And here is another videos for you, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel.